Thank you for joining me today. We're going to have a nice grounding, calming yin practice since I don't know about you, but it's been a week. So I think for me personally, I definitely need something to kind of bring me back down, connect with the earth and just get that anxiety out of here. So we can begin either seated or on your back, whatever feels most comfortable and safe for you today. And we'll begin to find stillness, just letting the limbs relax, softening the gaze or closing your eyes. Feeling gravity pulling your body towards the floor. Beginning to bring your attention to the rise and fall of the breath, flowing in and out through the nose. Giving yourself permission to just really let go of everything external, everything that has been happening the last few days and weeks, and just at least for the next hour, allowing ourselves to be truly present right here. Bringing your awareness now into the area around your heart. Just check in with the state of your emotions as they are right now. And without judgment, just observing what feelings are present for you right here, right now. The practice of Yin Yoga, where we hold each posture for longer periods of time, allows us to find stillness, calmness, stability in the midst of our busy lives. We're not saying that being busy is a bad thing and being still is a good thing, just that there are two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. So by engaging in this practice, we can find some balance. One of my teachers often brings to mind the words of the poet Rumi, The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be cleaning you out for some new delight. The dark thoughts, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And so throughout this practice, give yourself permission to welcome and entertain whatever guests arrive in your house today. Practicing acceptance of where you find yourself in each pose. Extending out into your life, your thoughts, your emotions. When you're ready, we'll come out of this grounding meditation, opening the eyes, and we'll meet in all fours. And once you're here, taking the knees as wide as is comfortable, we're just going to sit back into a child's pose. And once you sit back on your heels, bring your arms one over top of the other and just let your head rest on your arms. Feeling your arms supporting the head. And noticing the breath in and out through the belly. And just really allowing gravity to do its work and relax any tension that you may be feeling. As always, if you find yourself distracted by thoughts, just gently draw your attention back into the present, focusing on the breath coming in and out through the nose. And periodically just checking in, noticing if you're carrying any tension anywhere, and seeing if it can be released. We'll slowly begin to release and press back up into all fours. We'll begin to move into a melting heart pose, and we'll do a little arm variation here. So beginning to walk the arms out, coming down onto the forearms gently. And we'll take first the left hand and cross it over, grabbing the right elbow and letting the forehead rest on the left arm. So the right arm is extended. Hips are stacked over the knees. And the heart melts towards the earth. And gently, mindfully, we'll switch arms so that the left arm is extended. Right hand grabbing about the left elbow, resting the forehead on the right arm. And like always, just noticing any differences from one side to the other. Maybe one shoulder is tighter than the other. It doesn't matter, it's just something that we can observe. And gently pressing back up into the hands, coming back onto all fours, tabletop position. And we don't do a lot of moving in yin, but we'll do just a few rounds of cat and cow as a transition. So as you inhale, the back begins to arch, the chest opens, and the gaze lifts. And as you exhale, the chin draws to the chest as the spine rounds towards the ceiling. We'll move through this 4 more times on our own breath. Just allowing the breath to be your guide. And after your next round of cat and cow, return to a neutral spine. And from here, I invite you to just take any kind of movements that feel good, just loosening up the hips a little. So maybe moving them in a circle in one direction and then the other. maybe more of a figure of 8. Whatever feels good as you loosen up those joints. And then when you're ready, returning back to a neutral spine. And taking just a few breaths to feel the effects of that movement on the body. You noticing where the energy is flowing as you feel your hands and legs grounded into the mat. So maybe just noticing what it feels like to be still after being in motion. From here, we'll move onto our bellies. First, Sphinx pose. And we've got a couple of options here. So option 1 is pressing up onto the forearms. So we have a gentle arch in the spine, but not too intense. And option 2 is just lifting the legs, the bottom half of your legs up off the mat. And keeping your feet neutral, not pointed or flexed, just wherever they land. And having the knees bent like this allows the belly to ground even more into the floor. And we'll take a few moments just to breathe here. If you have your legs bent and at any point it feels not comfortable anymore, you can always release them back down to the mat. And as you breathe here, noticing the belly coming into contact with the mat. As you breathe in and out. And at this point, you can stay here in Sphinx, or if you'd like to press up into Seal for a minute, just press up into the hands, getting a little bit of a deeper arch in the spine. And again, just finding whatever option feels best for you. Once we're going for some gentle compression in the spine, but again, we don't want it to get too intense. We hold these yin postures for longer periods of time so that we can engage all the way down to the fascia, the connective tissues around the bones and joints. And from wherever you are, seal or sphinx, come back down onto the mat. Bringing your hands together and just letting your head rest on the hands, on your belly. Maybe looking in one direction or the other. And just enjoying the sensation of being drawn downwards by gravity into the earth. And taking just a couple more breaths. Really feeling the support of the ground beneath you. And slowly we'll begin to make our way back up to a seated position. We're going to make our way into dragonfly or straddle. So you may want to sit up on a blanket or a cushion, take some of the pressure off the hips. So from a seated position, just extending the legs out into a V. They don't have to be very far apart. And just adjusting to find wherever you are today. And reaching the crown of the head up to the sky. And gently begin to walk the hands forward. Just until we start to feel the slightest little bit of sensation. And taking care of the low back. You can allow the neck to drop and the spine to round if that's comfortable. Allow the knees and ankles to soften. Maybe think about directing the breath deep into your belly. And as always, you may feel as we hold these postures that either you need to let up a little, back out of the stretch, or maybe the stretch deepens. Just constantly checking in. We'll gently begin to walk the hands back towards the body, finding an upright position. And we'll be staying here in our dragonfly. So just slightly shifting your upper body towards the right leg. And we'll begin to walk the hands forward, bending over the right leg. And once again, taking your time, noticing where there's tension, seeing if you can let it release with the help of gravity. Really trying to cultivate a sense of acceptance of wherever you are in this stretch. We all have different bodies, different skeletons, so we're all going to look a little different. That's why I always say this is your practice. It's not about trying to contort your body into any particular shape. It's finding the shape that works for your body. And always taking the option of backing out or relaxing into the stretch. Listening to your body. And slowly make our way back up to center. And shifting the torso and beginning to bend over the left leg this time. And noticing with a sense of curiosity how this side feels compared to the other one. Consciously releasing any tension. Maybe noticing what guests are present in your house right now, what feelings or emotions are being brought up. Welcoming them all right where they are. And slowly release, coming back up to center. And drawing the legs in, leaning back into the hands, just windshield wiper the legs. We were in that deep stretch of the inner thighs for quite some time. Give ourselves a minute to reset. Now grabbing, if you have a bolster or a cushion of some kind, we're going to come down onto our backs for a reclined butterfly. So sitting upright, just hugging the bolster or cushion right into the sacrum. And then gently coming back onto the forearms and resting back. The knees are bent with the feet flat on the floor. And bringing the feet together. Begin to let the knees drop out to the side. And you may want to stick something underneath the knees if that will give you more support. We have block or blankets, pillows. And your knees may not get close to the floor. But what we're looking for is that sensation of gravity, drawing them downwards. You can keep your arms at your sides, or maybe bring one or both hands to the belly. And feeling the breath coming in and out. Noticing where your body comes into contact with the support underneath you. Just taking an inventory once again. Noticing if you might be carrying any tension anywhere in the body. I often carry a lot of tension in my jaw and in my shoulders. So throughout the day, I'm constantly coming back and trying to correct that. And noticing if you're distracted by any thoughts, activity in your mind. Just observing it and letting it go. Drawing the attention back to the breath. And when you're ready, gently, maybe using the hands to help the legs back up to center. The knees are bent so the feet are flat on the floor. And maybe from here, just taking a big stretch, extending the legs and arms, maybe pointing and flexing the feet. Any little movements that will feel good for you at this moment. Gently removing your cushion from beneath your back. And you may now want to have something behind the head and neck as we come back onto our back. There's some twisted roots. Laying back into this constructive rest pose. We'll bring the arms out to a T position. And crossing the left thigh over the right. And just let the knees drop to the right. Using any props under the knees, if that will give you more support. If it's available to you, you can even hook the left foot behind the right leg. A little bit of a deeper twist in the legs. And just feeling the legs as well as the left shoulder melting towards the floor. And your gaze can be wherever is most comfortable, up to the sky or to one side or the other. Letting the shoulders relax. And slowly begin to untwist. And back to center, uncrossing the legs. Recentering the hips. We'll cross the right leg over the left this time. And then let the knees drop over to the left. Again, relaxing the shoulders as they melt towards the mat. Breathing into areas of tension or sensation. Just observing the grounding effects of gravity. And letting it do all the work. Gently releasing from the twist, uncrossing the legs, recentering your hips, letting the spine press into the mat, and maybe drawing the knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug, maybe rocking back and forth. Just taking maybe another minute to take any last movements that you'd like before moving into Shavasana. Maybe widening the legs, maybe grabbing the outsides of the feet, coming into a happy baby. Just whatever serves you best. And slowly beginning to make your way into your Shavasana. Whatever that looks like for you today. Maybe the feet are on the floor. Maybe that makes you feel more grounded today. Or extending the legs out, covering up with a blanket or using the support of any props. Taking your time. Once you've arrived, once again finding stillness. Letting the eyes soften or close. Focusing on the breath, remaining present with the felt experience of the breath. Really feeling it move in and out through the nostrils. Looking upon the breath without any judgment, but instead with a sense of curiosity. Noticing every detail of each breath, keeping you right here, right now in the present. Expanding the awareness from the breath to the whole body. While maintaining that breath awareness, feel the sensation of the breath as it moves throughout the entire body. Feeling the rise and the fall of your shoulders, maybe the expansion, contraction of your belly. Staying with the breath in and out. Here you are, here and now, breathing in this magical body, It's a magical body that supports and serves you, perfectly designed to hold you in this space. And recognizing the support and stability of the structures beneath you, the mat, the floor, the earth. Realizing that you're being held here by the breath and the body, as well as the earth around you. Rest back in this space, feeling held by the earth, maybe softening a little bit more. Resting back in this sense of present moment awareness. You are here, you are held, you're safe. Begin to expand your awareness from breath and body, floor beneath you, and further outward, absorbing the sounds and smells around you. Begin to just make some gentle, small movements of the fingers and toes. Maybe taking a big stretch, just slowly working your way back to a comfortable seated position. And once you're there, noticing how you're still connected to the ground, supported by the earth beneath you. Bringing the hands to rest in front of your heart, palms together. Taking just a moment to remember the feeling of this breath-body connection. Maybe challenge yourself to hold this awareness, this feeling of being supported as you move throughout the rest of your day. Namaste.